North Korea is about to engage yet in another war with its neighboring country, South Korea. For what reasons and what could be the motivations behind all this? In order for you to understand this more better, I'm first inviting you to watch this video.
North Korean leader Kim Jong has given a staunch military and political statement in response to the regime's claim of drone incursions by South Korea last week. However, what he exactly stated has not been released. This is according to the regime's state-run Korean Central News Agency, which said that Kim convened a Defense and Security Council meeting on Monday to discuss a military action plan. It added that the regime's leader during the meeting also came forward with important military tasks needed in mobilizing war deterrence and self-defense. On the same day, North Korean leader's sister Kim Jong again denounced Seoul. In a statement reported on KCNA, she accused the South Korean military of being the main culprit behind sending unmanned drones into Pyongyang, and added that the US should also be accountable. These heightened tensions come as North Korea claimed on Friday that Seoul sent unmanned aerial vehicles carrying propaganda leaflets to its capital on October 3rd, 9th, and 10th. The South Korean military said it is unable to verify the claim, neither confirming nor denying allegations. And amid the threats from Pyongyang, Russia on Monday said that the drone incursions are a violation of North Korea's sovereignty, and that Seoul's supposed actions destroy the legitimate state and political system of an independent state.
The war between North Korea and South Korea, it hides something very serious. But how? How possible is it that the two nations, which are supposed to be having a good relationship as neighbors, they are failing to do so? Instead, it is all about having a lot of conflict. Why the conflict between the two nations never cease to stop after all these years? For what reasons? Why the two countries can't live at peace? Why they have to always be ready to fight on one another? Who could be the real mastermind behind this conflict that we're getting to see between the two nations? The supreme leader of North Korea, Kim Jong, have positioned his troops between the border of his country and the one of South Korea. And these troops, they are right in the position to attack South Korea by any mistake or by any order which they will receive from their leaders. They will have to go ahead and start a war. But why? For what reason would be the leader of North Korea wanting to attack South Korea? Well, according to the report in our possession, South Korea, they've been working together with the USA and try to spy on the leadership of North Korea by sending their drones over in another country, even though they know very well that this is something which violates the sovereignty of another country, but they are deciding to do so. So North Korea, they did not want to tolerate that. They feel like they can't allow South Korea to be flying their drone over their country.
Of Democratic People's Republic of Korea Ministry of National Defense announced that General Staff of the Korean People's Army issued an order to the combined artillery units along the border and the units taking on an important task to get ready to open fire.
Now, responding back to North Korea preparation to attack South Korea, of course the South Korea military defense, they have to come back and say that they are ready to respond back at any time if they are being attacked by North Korea.
North Korea yesterday reported on the General Staff of the Korean People's Army, issuing an operational reserve order for full-scale firing readiness along the border. Our military is closely monitoring North Korean military movements and is fully prepared to respond to any potential provocations.
Was that all you have to say? No. The South Korea, they are also accusing North Korea, saying that the North Korea Republic, they are actually preparing to blow off the bridge which linked the two countries, where they know very well that if they have to go through the war, this bridge, it is what usually help people of South Korea in order for them to travel to another side of North Korea.
We have identified signs of them working behind screened fences. We also identified them preparing to destroy roads. I believe that North Korea can destroy them as soon as today. We think there are possibilities of North Korea carrying out space rocket launch, performative destruction of the inter-Korean roads, or small-scale provocations. We are preparing to respond to all such possible scenarios.
Now guys, let us try to stop for a second there and try to understand the real reason behind all this. Why the two countries, they have to escalate things to this point. How did they get to this point when we all know that in the previous Olympic Games which took place, the two countries had decided to participate in these Olympic Games as one nation? We were all surprised, and we were even more excited to know that finally the two countries, they are about to get along. But unfortunately, one of this day we sleep and wake up just to find out that the two countries, they are about to engage again in another war. For what reasons? What could be the reason behind it? Well, this is what happened. We all know that the relationship between Americans and North Korea, they don't get along at all. I have shown you in some of the videos that we have made for you on this channel on how North Korea, they are even educating their children at school, telling them that the Americans, they are their enemy number one out of all the nations in the world.
So you've got the average North Korean, people who are taught from birth that America is this evil imperial power hell-bent on their destruction, waking up the next day to see their dear leader, aka God, hanging out with a bunch of Americans saying he hopes that we can all get along.
For the reasons which we'll prefer to keep that in our next video. But since we all know that the two countries, they don't get along, on other side we are having South Korea, which is number one partner of the US in that regions. They work with the USA, they trade with the USA. USA, it is at their rescue. Whenever North Korea try to threaten South Korea, USA will always jump in the front line, forgetting that actually the main problem there is the presence of the US in that regions. It is what is bothering North Korea. But what happened in order for things to get to this point? Well, it's been for some times now. The USA, they've been working together. They have kind of like enforced their relationship with North Korea. And they've been trying everything to see on how they can neutralize the leadership of North Korea. That was something which the North Korea government actually did not like at all. They were not feeling comfortable about that. So what they have to do in return, in order for them to send a loud message to North Korea, they were also starting sending some trashes in South Korea through the rivers. And we all know what trashes or plastics does to the environment. It can create a lot of disease, sickness among nations. It can raise up kind of different complications. And that, it is when the tensions between these two countries took place. South Korea did not want that as well. In return, they even went far by starting now throwing drones. I'm referring to South Korea with the USA sending a lot of drones over there in North Korea so that they can get to spy on the president of North Korea. And that was something which the leadership of North Korea could not take it easily. So we all know that President Kim Jong has his own young sister who is like number two in that country. And this woman, she had to send a very loud message to North Korea that they should stop working with Americans, especially sending drones to spy on his brother. Because if they don't stop doing that, well, they'll have to continue to survive the consequences of what will have to happen for them. So she sent this message telling them that
the moment that a drone of the Republic of Korea is discovered in the sky over our capital city once again will certainly lead to a horrible disaster. Personally, I wish that such a thing will not happen.
now, this message, it had put the two countries to the very high tensions, which will make them be at the brink of a war. Because South Korea, it is a sovereign country. It has its own allies as much as North Korea does have its own allies, such as Russia and China, India, so on and so on. And these countries right now, they're at the point of engaging themselves in a war. The war which had took place before, we all know what was the result of it. And now they are about to redo the same things, but this time under the leadership of Kim Jong-un. And when all this is happening, no one is talking about it. No media is covering all this. When a sovereign country, it is actually provoking another sovereign country, no one is talking about it. No one is trying to come up with a better solution for these two countries to remain at the peace side. Instead, all we see, it is a sovereign country which goes around trying to boss everyone, try to remind everyone that, look here, I'm your elder brother. You have to do things accordingly. And who's this big brother? Of course, we're talking about the USA. All the conflict they have raised around the world in the Middle East, from Israel to Hamas, Palestine, Iran, that's not enough. Forgetting about what they had started and they would not be able to finish in Europe between Russia and Ukraine. Now they want to go and bring another trouble between the two neighboring countries. They've never been at peace, they never get along. For the same purpose, for the same reasons. Now they are raising the same things, but for what reason? You might ask yourself a question to know, why is the USA wanting to get involved in the middle of these two nations? It is for simple reasons. North Korea, they are in possession of those stubborn countries with stubborn leaders who have disobeyed to the so-called big brother called the USA. You heard me correct. North Korea is one of those countries who have turned their back on the UN charters, all the United Nations rules which they had imposed on all the world countries, saying that no, you can't do this. If you do this, you violate the right of this, you do that and that. Countries such as North Korea, they have understood very well that these world organizations called UN, United Nations, it is a weapon which the Western they have put in place in order for it to be at their service. I'll explain more. They will come and look at you and see if they can control you, if they can have a last word to say, if they can have kind of influence on your country politics. If they fail to do so, they will have to go through United Nations and use these organizations with their people within it so that they can come with serious sanctions on you. And when they come with these sanctions, it is for you to give up so that you will end up following under the leadership of the United Nations. Now, South Korea, with its leadership, they have understand that, they have make peace with that, and they're like, no, we are good the way we're doing our things here. We believe we're a sovereign country. We stay out of your country affairs. Therefore, we would like you also to do the same for us, to not get involved in our country business. Stay away from our business, as also we are going to stay away from your business. Now, that is how you see them developing all different kind of weapons. On one side, the USA, they'll come and threatening all the countries in the world, saying that no one should never try to supply Russia with weapons. While the next things you see, North Korea, with Kim Jong, they have to go all the way and support Russia with weapons. Why? Because they don't want to follow under the leadership of the USA. That it is the simple mathematic. So that is something that the USA also on their side, just because they believe that they are that big brother in the house, they want to impose their leadership. Of course, they are not taking that lightly. They are making sure by all means to stop North Korea from developing or from going ahead and do whatsoever is pleasing them. That is how you see them now. They are influencing South Korea to become a enemy number one, or should I say, to become as a potential candidate to fight. If you look in the agenda of the USA, how they do their foreign policies, they will never gonna fight another country within the USA border. Instead, they will prefer to use another country in order for that country to fight with another country. So in case there's any damage, it won't affect them. In case there is any kind of victims, or maybe war survivors, or whatever could be the situations, then they won't feel it. That is how you see all the candidate countries which had opened or give them this battleground for them. This country, they are well being treated by the USA. They'll go in their Congress, they'll put billions of money on the table in order for them to support this country. But this billion of money, whenever they are announced in their Congress or in their medias, this money does not land in the hands of all these countries that they usually donate it to. This money, it is another way of the USA making money, because remember, they'll give you 60 billion, saying that no, you should go and buy yourself fighting weapons. But yet they are the first people who collect all the tenders. I'll explain. Look, for example, what's been happening in Ukraine. All the the money that they've been giving to Ukraine. Whenever Ukraine they give them the money, they will tell them which company they have to go and buy drones, which company will supply them with guns, which company will do this and that. And all those companies, they are registered as Americans company. So, out of 100% of money which the US is giving all these countries, you find out about 60 to 75% of that money remain within the USA border. You can verify this. I'm not making up a story. You can even make your own research on your own. You'll find out what I'm telling you. So, guys, does the world deserve to have another no? Why? Because we are dealing with a nuclear country such as North Korea. They've been producing a lot of fighting weapons, and they have not practiced it. And these people, the way they've been producing all these things, they are doing it with one purpose in their mind. They're not even seeing South Korea, they're seeing Americans. In case if Americans make mistake, they'll have to hit back on the USA. Is that what the world deserves to be experiencing right now? I don't think so, and I hope this matter have to be solved as soon as possible so that the world can live at peace again. Well guys, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. We really indeed do appreciate your presence, because it was very important that we get to sit down and have conversation regarding these matters. So feel free to also tell us what you think through our comment section. Express yourself and tell us, what do you think about this war that North Korea is ready to attack South Korea? Tell us in the comment sections. We'll have a look on that, and if you do so, don't forget also to give us your thumbs up, like this video in your numbers. We'll really do appreciate that as well. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel right now, so that whenever we are here live, you'll be able to hear from us again. That will be all for now. Continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.